Hey everyone, Sierra Game Scott here, coming to you from the final game of Space Quest pardon me, most likely the final video of Space Quest 4, Roger Wilco and the Time Rippers. Let's play by Sierra Game Scott, of course. And so, without further ado, let us proceed to what is one of the final scenes. As you can see, the time is running out. And so here's our sun, and safety margin very good. I guess that means we've got plenty of time, hopefully. Hello again, Roger. It's me, your old friend, Sledge Volhaul. I've taken the liberty of borrowing your son's body. I had to remove him first to make room for my mental self. His is on this disc. I must say, it is most enjoyable to be in a young, healthy body, even if it is from your bloodline. In fact, I like it so much I think I'll keep it. I guess we'll have no use for this anymore. Now it's time to settle things once and for all. You better be careful, though. Keep this in mind. If I die while in this body, that disc will be useless. Your son will never draw another breath. And if you don't defend yourself, you will never live to buff another helmet. Come on, show me what you've got, mob jockey. Alright, so this is kind of a pseudo-fighting scene. And really just have to kind of click behind Volhaul. And I did this before, and it wasn't actually that hard. Woo, you were nearly thrown off the edge of the platform. Be more careful. Yeah, so you want to get... Not really giving me a lot of room. Is that all the effort you can muster? All this space hero nonsense must be getting to you. You're getting old, Roger. I, on the other hand, am enjoying the physical joys of youth. Alright, so, as you can see, that was not particularly hard. So that guy's stuck in there. And what do we need to do? Well, remember he threw the disc down that had the, I guess, data that had our son's mental faculties. Yeah, we have to go get it. It's kind of reminiscent of Star Wars. And so we get the disc. And he does, and the game does that automatically. There's nothing I was really doing. We're just kind of waiting. All right, so here's the disc, and let's put in this machine here. And the final puzzle is the disc. Let's change the hand. Disc download. Oh, disc upload. You want to upload it to the beam. Disc download's not needed at all. Then you want to beam upload. All right, and then beam download. And that should have done it. Thanks for saving me. I thought I was a goner. Follow me. There are many things we need to talk about. And that's pretty much all for the game in terms of gameplay. This is just the closing. You must... It's true. You go first. You must be very confused. Were Volhaul's words true? Are you really my son? You do look a little like me, though not as good looking. What do you mean, not as good look? I'm 10 times... Wait, what am I saying? This is no way to start. Yes, what Volhaul said is true. I have many things to tell you, Dad. I should start at the beginning. I was born 19 years ago on Xenon. It has always been my home. The Xenon of today, at least up until recently, had made great strides in managing our planet's resources. That included water, minerals, even the talent of our population. We enjoyed peace for so many years that we took it for granted. He's only 19 years old. The creation of the first super biomech computer was the biggest success story in our history. Pretty mature for a 19-year-old, too. It was able to store, organize, and analyze all the knowledge Xenon's intellectual, scientific, and artistic communities had to offer. As a result, great technological strides were made. When Volhaul's virus was introduced and began to control the computer, a state of total chaos was created. We were unprepared for what followed, as Volhaul turned our technology against us. The population was quickly decimated. Some of us stayed and tried to fight, some were captured, and some fled the planet. When it seemed there was no hope, we thought of one last long-shot effort. That was to find the only person in history ever to defeat Volhaul. We had to go back in time and find that person. You. We got there just in time. You had to go back You had to go back in time to get me? Why wasn't I available in this time? What happened to me? I don't understand. I'm sorry, there are just some things I wish I could tell you, but can't. I know that's not what you want to hear. Believe me, I just can't. Hey, if you're my son, who's your mother? My wife? Where is she? Who is she? You sure ask a lot of questions for a janitor. This is my mother, your wife. Her name was Beatrice. Beatrice Wankmeister. She was quite beautiful, wasn't she? What do you mean, was quite beautiful? What are you saying? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Please, I can't tell you any more. I don't believe all this. I'm so confused. It doesn't matter now. I have to send you back where I found you, so that history will be properly reflect the events which brought us to this place in time. You won't remember much. This will seem like it was a weird, fuzzy dream. I must get to the task of contacting all the surviving citizens of our planet. We have a huge task ahead of us. Rebuilding our city and our lives will not be easy, but we will do it. Once more, I have to ask you to enter the time rip. It will return you to Magmethius in the Space Quest 4 era. Please go now. It's time. It's kind of funny the game recognizes that it's in a different version of the game, or a different episode of the game. So, father and son shake hands, and Dad, I'm going to see you, even if only for a few minutes. Xenon owes you a lot. Goodbye, Dad. I got to see you, pardon me, even if only for a few minutes. So that's the closing music as Roger goes in a time rip and heads back to Magmethius. So many unanswered questions. The future will be most interesting for Roger if he can stay out of trouble long enough to see it. We're glad you could help Roger get through it all. Thank you for playing Space Quest 4. We hope it's been as entertaining as you have. And the credits roll. And let me just turn down the music slightly. Yeah, so that's Space Quest 4. Pretty actually short game. I think it only is about 17 videos. That does include a couple videos that went longer than usual because we didn't have the 10-minute restriction anymore. But even so, I think it is shorter than even Police Quest 2, certainly Gold Rush, and Quest for Glory 3 that I also did LPs on. I think the reason for that is just some of the puzzles are really hard. I mean, we didn't really get the full effect of some of the puzzles just because I had to walk through, but I mean, just making sure you write down all the codes, figuring out in the first scene how to get this time ripper to work, the sequel police officers, recognizing what you have to go back to Space Quest 10 and get that the right plug, even though I don't know if that actually was necessary to complete the game. Just a bunch of other things that aren't really all that intuitive. I think we get a little spoiled playing it beforehand, not doing this for the first time, making it seem like it's a lot easier than it was. So it was kind of infamous for having some tough puzzles, but I think this is the one I enjoyed the most. I think it was it's a really pretty solid game. I wish it was a little longer, maybe throwing in another sequel, another prequel, or something into the game's mix. But definitely, they really put in a lot of effort with the mall portion, I thought, which was the bulk of the game. I think we spent several videos there, and that was pretty good. Going back in time was fairly clever, and seeing what Xenon was like after the destruction, definitely, I think it was a good game. I know one of the games that people seem to enjoy more, or at least the most from what I've heard. I think 3 through 5 are generally very well liked, but the consensus, if there is any, to the extent that I've seen it, has been that Space Quest 5 is the best game. I don't think I agree. I only played it through once, but what I'm going to do, for those of you who are wondering what the next LP is I'm just going to kind of merge this as this is going to be. I'll create a distinction, but essentially I'm just going to continue on and play Space Quest 5 as if it were just part of this game, just as a continuation. So we're not going to lose any real time or lose any. There's not going to be any real gap like I usually have. I know I had a huge gap between last few LPs, but we're just going to move into it and treat it pretty much like we're just continuing on with the game. It's not a direct, it's a direct sequel, but it's not, it doesn't pick up within seconds or minutes of this game, as some of the other games sometimes do, particularly the King's Quest games. So we'll just continue on with that and treat it like this series isn't really over. I will not go into Space Quest 6. I don't actually have the game. It's pretty large. It was not a DOS game, so I'd need some other software in order to record it. And Space Quest 6 is usually, and certainly in my opinion, considered one of the lesser games. That it was when Sierra was sort of going downhill, really changing the adventure games series, or the way they did adventure games. And so I'm not a huge fan of Space Quest 6. I think some of the games that came out around the same time were King's Quest 8, Quest for Glory 5, which I think largely, I actually like Quest for Glory 5 to a degree, but it's definitely not as good as the other ones, but just kind of moving a little bit away from its adventure roots, trying to make things a lot more action-oriented, or just not the same quality that I think we were used to. So in any event, for technical reasons and for interest reasons, I'll probably end it at 5. Maybe we'll consider going back and doing a prequel. Maybe I should have done 3 through 5 from the start, but in any event, we start off with 4. We're going to go directly into 5, and pretty much those are my impressions of the game. We can talk a little bit more about the Space Quest series and some of the things about Sierra as we head into Space Quest 5, but besides that, let me just conclude this LP. If you are not going to join us for the 5th game in this Space Quest series, I hope you did enjoy Space Quest 4. If you have not checked out some of my other LPs, you might enjoy it. If you enjoyed this, I have Gold Rush, I have Quest for Glory 3, Police Quest 2, and King's Quest 3. Oh, and Conquest of Camelot. So, that'd definitely be great if you could take a look at that if you enjoy it, and hopefully it'll be something enjoyable for you as well. If not, though, once again, thanks for tuning in for this edition of Let's Play Sierra Games by Sierra Games Scott, and I will see you hopefully in the game Space Quest 5, I believe, subtitled The Last Mutation. Until then, take care.